So, hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to Mwalimu Affairs episode 1. This is where we say that we are uplifting teachers' life by ways of educating them and hence impacting generations and improving our student life. My name is Arrosto Ben. I'm the host of the show today, and I can tell you by Fred that today we have a good topic lined up for you. By the way, I should let you know this, that this is a show for you teachers, this is a show for us teachers, this is a show for us to do this and brainstorm and be able to do things that we relate to, or things that touches us as teachers, because that is what we want to discuss and that is what we want to improve. By the way, you can be able to follow us on Facebook at Arrostoben, and also you can be able to see this live. If you missed this, or if any one of your friends missed this, you can be able to refer to him or her to our YouTube channel at Rostoben, and you can also be able to request for a joining link to be part of the guest, to be part of those people who will be sharing their thoughts on the topic of today. So today we have a topic on teachers development, teachers self-growth. Put aside professional development, put aside that. Now today we are a little bit allow me to say selfish and talk on matters on how to grow ourselves. And I'm not alone today on studio. I'm joined by one beautiful lady here by the name Teacher Happiness. And she is one who is passionate on matters personal development, self-growth, and that is who I have on board. I'm sure she is going to help us discuss this topic and get to know what it means. So, Happiness, how are you?
Hi, hello. Hi,
We are
Ben.
good. Thank you so
Yeah,
much for coming in, and thank you so much for finding time to share your thoughts on this topic. I hope you are good.
I am. And thank you for inviting me. It's definitely a privilege. I'm just so excited. This has been long coming. I didn't know that it goes with I've always been saying also.
Yeah, you
Just
can have
some
it there
people.
as a roast of Ben. That is how I like mentioning it.
Okay,
And
okay.
we are privileged to have you on board. I'm sure you are one of those people that we have been brainstorming on how to do this with, and you've
Yes.
been they are pushing me to ensure that it's done. And I thank God that finally we managed to do this, right?
Yeah, it's such a blessing. It's amazing. I'm sure this is going to be so big. It's going to be impactful. And I just can't wait. I can't wait to see it bud and blossom. Oh my goodness. It's so amazing. Yeah.
Wow, our God is a God who answers prayers. He has helped us manage do this, and I'm sure we are going to do this. All right. So
Yeah, yeah.
today, for our viewers out there, today we are two, but this is just because it's the first episode. I'm sure in the second episode we shall be having you on board. We shall be
Mm-hmm.
bringing your thoughts. We shall be sharing the topic of our second session that will be coming on Tuesday from 4 to 5 p.m. And by the way, it's good that I say to you, it will be live on Facebook, live on YouTube, and also you can join us through the webinar link. We can share this with you absolutely for free. So you need not to fear. So look out for the next topic that we shall be discussing in our next session. If you missed that one on Tuesday, you can always follow it up on YouTube. And if you missed that one, I can tell you this, on Saturdays, we shall also be having this live and direct coming to you from where you are at the comfort of your couch, back at home, or wherever you will be. So let's get into today's topic, teacher happiness.
Yes, sir. Tell me.
Now, we are talking of teachers' personal development.
Mm-hmm.
And we know that the Teacher Service Commission has been brought something on board known as TPD, that is teachers, again, professional development. Maybe if you
Yeah.
can help us be able to draw the boundaries between the teachers' personal development and teachers' professional development. Maybe if from your side, what do you get it as?
Yeah. I think for me, what I think TPD, as we call it, the Teacher Professional Development, is on our appraisal tool, which is TPAD. I'm sure everyone knows it, and currently people have embraced it. We kind of try to resist it, but I'm happy that teachers are open to it now. They do it, and TPD definitely, it's meant to help you jumpstart your career journey in a way that you now become a more value additional teacher in your classroom. So you get to be nurtured as a teacher. So the TPD is mainly geared towards your career. You as a teacher, how you deliver in the classroom, how you interact with the learners, how you become a contemporary teacher, and all those things. So TPD, or teacher development, it's more geared to build you up. as a teacher. But
So,
now,
meaning that,
hey,
allow me to cut you
yeah,
short at that point, meaning that the TPD, the teacher professional development that we are being taught to go for at
mhm,
MKU, and all those other institutions that are offering, it is
mhm,
meant to improve our skills on how to, how to deliver the content, on how
mhm,
those, call them the pedagogical skills, right? If I have gotten
exactly.
you right, isn't it?
Yes,
So
that word
if
can
that
make
is
you swallow your tongue
now,
pedagogically.
if that is what we mean by
Yeah.
teachers' professional development, what about
Uh-huh.
teachers' personal development?
Yeah, yeah. And I like the way you put it actually. So, for teacher personal development, by the way,
Mhm,
this is one of the things for me when I started learning that I could personally develop myself. It
mhm,
was a game changer. So, this
mhm,
means that now you invest in yourself as a person.
mhm,
And I would classify it into various categories. So you would say you're developing yourself as a teacher in your finances. So you're getting coaches, you're getting mentors to
mhm,
help you cascade your financial
mhm,
health. Again, spiritually, you're getting materials, you're getting mentors, you're getting teachers to help you kind of build that spiritual aspect of yourself. Socially, you are getting to understand who is in your circle. How are they benefiting you? Are they people who add value to you? Because as it said, you're the average of the 5 people that you surround yourself with. So you get to learn how to surround yourself with high value people and all those kind of things. So there is the economic, there is the spiritual, there is the financial aspect, and of course there is also the physical aspect. That means health. So are you going into materials of how can you better be healthy? Because as it said, your health is your wealth. So teacher personal development is more about going within building that mental strength through just getting coaches and mentors. And you don't have to have a live coach if that's
mhm,
not yet in your disposal. You
mhm,
can get coaches online. There is the likes of Tony Robbins and all that.
mhm,
Yeah.
mhm.
So that for me is it's more about going within and building yourself as a person. As a
Well,
person.
from what I have heard you tell us is basically saying that you can substitute teachers' personal development with self growth. Is that right?
Exactly.
And
Exactly.
from again, what I've gotten from you is whereby now you stop thinking about how to grow yourself as a teacher. Now you
Mhm.
think of how to grow yourself as an individual.
As
You
an
know,
individual.
you get to now think of your finances, how to
Mhm.
put your finances into into a good way. You get to think
Yeah,
of
yeah,
your
yeah.
spirituality, your relationship
Mhm.
with your maker. You get to
Mhm.
think of how you are going to live a life without after retirement. Isn't that
Mm.
true? Now,
Exactly.
I
Exactly.
have heard you say something interesting, and you've
Mhm.
talked of getting to mind who is within your circle.
Yeah.
And at this point, there is
Yeah.
I would
Mm.
like us to help our viewers and also ourselves get dive into this clearly. That
Mhm.
is there a difference between a
Yeah.
colleague and a friend from your side? Is there a
Yeah.
difference between the two?
It's a yes and no question because
Mhm,
sometimes you
mhm,
get colleagues.
mhm,
By default, those will be your colleagues, whether you like it or not. As long as you have found yourself in that pool working together, hauna option, they will definitely be your colleagues.
mhm,
But you may get those colleagues who you gel well. It's just normal. It's a normal scenario in human relationships. So you will
mhm,
get those colleagues who you gel well, you have chemistry, you kind of
mhm,
just vibe well. So those can become your friends. And actually, there are colleagues who become even more than friends. You find yourself kind of like even inviting them to your personal life. You want them
mhm,
to come when you have birthdays for your kids. You want them to take you for a ratio. So those ones have actually graduated. They are kind of coming into your inner circle. So yes, there is
mhm,
a difference. It's a yes and no. Sometimes you'd have colleagues because by default, you apply your job. So those are your colleagues. But you may have those colleagues who you definitely just gel well and they become your friends. So you can have colleagues,
mhm.
and you can have colleagues who are friends. Yeah. Yes. So
Wow.
that's how I look at it.
And I think also to my side, I would say the same way that you said it. Or there
Yeah.
are those who remains at the category of colleagues, and there are
Hmm.
those who graduate to not only being colleagues, they become friends. And
Yeah.
now that we have colleagues and we also have friends, let's
Hmm.
have them in the same basket, both colleagues and those who are colleagues and those friends who
Hmm.
are friends. There
Yeah.
is the common phrase of "show me the people you are with." and I'll definitely tell you the kind of
Yes.
a person you are.
Yes.
And allow me to say this.
Mm.
Okay, I know a few people may throw stones to me, but allow me to say this. Majority of us teachers are reluctant to self growth. Majority
Mhm.
of us teachers are focused on to money matters. How can I make an extra income? Do you think
Mhm.
that in one way or the other, those colleagues that we are with, those friends that we are with, they also play a part in our self growth?
Definitely, like 100%. Because guess
Mhm,
what, Ben? If
mhm,
I'm sitting with you in the office
mhm.
and all we are talking about is how you will get your next promotion, how you'll get that remedio to get some extra 500,
Yeah.
1,000, that's
Mhm.
the conversation that you're hearing over and over. But if you're sitting with someone who is thinking, I mean, there is an opportunity to invest out there, it's totally different. So whatever you hear over and over
Mhm.
definitely becomes part of you. By the way, it said that when you hear something over and over, it becomes your truth. That's how babies learn how to talk. Like
Yeah.
you called, let me give an example with my son. My
Mhm.
son didn't know his name was Miles, but over and over we kept saying Miles, Miles, Miles. That repetition, he now started responding. That's
Mhm.
exactly the same thing. You sit with people, and whatever they keep repeating, if they're just looking forward for the remedios and the small monies, okay, not small monies, sorry, but the
It's
monies,
okay. It's okay.
the
We
monies,
understand. We understand. Small is relative. Small is
it's
relative, and
relative, definitely.
eh,
Yeah, so if you're sitting with people who are having a certain conversation around a certain topic, maybe it's the
mhm,
money within the school, you will
mhm,
definitely be formed in that form. But if you're talking with people who are out there thinking about what can we build, how can we impact people, how can we get more money through this business, you
mhm.
begin to think that way. Yeah, and as a man
Yeah.
thinking, so does he
So
become.
he
So it's
becomes.
definitely true that the people you surround yourself with, you definitely need to take care.
And at that point, maybe we can roughly conclude and say that
Mm,
the reason as to why majority of us teachers don't value self-development is because of the environment in which that we are in. So meaning that if you want to grow yourself, if you want to grow yourself as a teacher, you have to
absolutely.
first of all watch out the kind of environment that you are in. If it's an
Mm,
environment that's not cultivating, it's an environment that is not giving you that free way to grow
mm,
yourself,
mm,
then you
mm.
need to be extra cautious and think of how you are going to maneuver. I
Exactly.
think
And
that's
to
all.
add on that, Ben, maybe I
Yeah,
could say this: you don't know what you don't know. Like before I knew there was personal development,
yeah.
I didn't know. I didn't know there was anything like that. It
Mhm,
took someone out there who has been in personal development to hold
mhm.
my hand and show me the way. So sometimes, and that's why I love that you brought this topic up, you need to
Yeah.
be out there looking for these mentors, looking for the coaches, so
Mhm.
that something in you will now know there is something like personal development. And who knows, maybe you are the one to now help the rest of the teachers. So sometimes you don't know what you don't know. You may never know what you're missing by
Mhm.
not personally developing yourself. So you need to reach out. You don't need to confine yourself within the teacher circle of friends. You need to
Yeah.
reach out. What are other people doing?
Wow. And I think it's good that at that point we also tell our good teachers, our good viewers who are viewing this, that this, what we are doing is part of personal development. It's part of
Absolutely.
growth. That's why we are saying that our aim is to uplift a teacher's life out there,
Mm,
because by dispensing this information to you, you are
mm,
able to learn something that you didn't know, or maybe add on to what you know. Now,
mhm.
uh, Happiness, you mentioned something earlier
Yeah.
about it's not a must I go for a life coach, because
Mm,
life coach, we cannot lie to ourselves. They are quite expensive to have.
mhm.
And is it good to substitute a life coach with a mentor? Is it good to do that? And if it is not good from your views,
Yeah.
uh, how can we then substitute, or what can we have in place of the
Yeah.
person life coach?
Person life coach.
Mhm,
And first of all, maybe just to clarify, when you talk about a mentor, do you
mhm.
mean someone who you are not in touch with? Or what
Well,
would that mean?
well, I was that actually that's what I was throwing to you. But in
Yeah.
this context, I mean, from what we understand, is a
Yeah.
mentor is one person who is going to guide you in your line of interest. In your line, for
Mm-hmm.
example, if the teacher, you want to grow in your career, you
Yeah,
want to
yeah,
climb the career ladder. So
yeah.
you get
Mm-hmm.
a mentor, could be a principal somewhere, a deputy
Yeah, yeah,
principal,
yeah. Okay.
who
I
will
get.
help you that. Or maybe a
Mm-hmm.
mentor could be somebody who is guiding you in matter of spirituality, but who is
Mm-hmm.
normally called the spiritual fathers and mothers,
Yes, yes.
That's
Mm-hmm.
because mentor is not only in one line.
Yeah, yeah,
Mentor,
yeah,
from
yeah.
my
True.
understanding, it
Yeah,
is in a specific line that you want to grow. And that's why
absolutely.
I was now bringing this
Mm-hmm.
to you, is can we substitute life coaches with mentors?
Yeah, I think so. And by the way, how I would look at it, for me, this is my personal opinion. I always prefer to have a coach and a mentor at the same time, because a mentor could be a peer mentor, like me and you, we are peer mentors. You
Yeah.
could also have someone who has walked the journey and now is helping you to walk the journey. A coach is more of, like a football coach. They've mastered the game, they know it, they'll be hard on you. They are the teacher, they will help you come up. They see what you can't see, and many times they believe if you're able to tap into the bit. And that's why a coach is so important. You can tap into your belief, because if me and you, we are at the same level and
Mm.
we are mentoring each other because we are brainstorming and exchanging ideas and all that, but sometimes we've just seen here, but we need someone who has seen here, who is holding our hands and pulling us up. Now, to answer your question, just after distinguishing those,
Yeah.
I believe it's so important, definitely, to have a life coach and a mentor who you can even meet and talk and all those things.
Yeah.
But if that's not possible, we are saying don't just sit back and relax and say it's a lot of money, I don't know anybody, and all that. Start with YouTube. Personally, I would refer Tony Robbins. He's the guru of personal development. There
Sure.
is Jim Rohn. My goodness, Jim Rohn will turn your
Yeah.
life around.
Mhm.
So there's a lot of materials. There's Napoleon Hill. If you're into
Mm.
making wealth, Napoleon Hill is a mastermind. There is Al Nightingale. There is all these people who have lived the ages, but their wisdom transcends, like, is still so relevant right now. So you can go to YouTube, you can plug into books. By the way, books are everything. Man, if you don't have a library, you're doing a disservice to yourself. So get these books, read them. Within no time, by the way, this is what happened to me. People will show up in your lives, the real life people. There is a quote, by the way, Ben: when the
Yeah.
student is ready, the teacher will appear. So as you dig in and find your way, people will
Yeah.
come. People will come, they'll be ready to hold your hand. I have not paid a single cent currently for all the mentors and coaches I have in my life. I
Yeah.
just feel maybe I was ready now to receive them. So yeah, just start there, get books, get people, YouTube, and all that. Yeah.
Yeah, and it's good that you've said that you've not paid even a single mentor out there, because people, most of the time, people think that you have to get a mentor and pay him, or a life coach and pay him. Not everyone is out there for payment. Some of us
Yeah.
are just out there to see
Yeah.
another life, being impacted and grow, because
Mhm.
we must not confine ourselves by having those words that all these people needs money. I'm
Mhm.
sorry to say that we were brought up in a culture where we were entangled into kind of thinking that everything is money, and the truth of the matter is not. It's not. That's not it. Because as you said, those people who produce videos and give them for free, they post them on their YouTube. Like you say, Tony Robbins. At the beginning of this year, I attended a 3 day session that was conducted by Tony Robbins, absolutely for free. All you need to
Wow.
be very specific, know what you want to go for, and look
Mhm.
for those people who are offering what you need, and I can
Yeah.
guarantee you that you are going to get someone out there. Now,
Mm.
let's take it a notch higher and ask
Yeah.
this happens. Now, we have talked about the need of having that self growth, the need of having
Mhm.
personal development as a teacher,
Yeah.
the need of me to be now not think
Mhm.
about the classroom setup, the four walls, the need of
Mhm.
me going out there and think of myself, because at
Yeah,
one
yeah, yeah.
point I'm going to retire, and at one point I'm going to be out of that classroom, and I'll
Mhm.
be by myself. Maybe which are the areas that a teacher needs to look into for him or her be able to, develop himself or develop
Mhm.
herself? What are
Yeah.
these areas that to look at?
Yeah. Mm-hmm. So, for me as a person, I think definitely issues of finance. I mean, you really need to grow your muscle in terms of finance. And we can all agree. Hi, Ben. Are you still there? I think Ben dropped out.
Are you able to get me, Happiness?
Oh, I think you fell off.
I didn't fell off. I just put your screen. I mean your photo on the screen.
Ah, okay. So it's okay.
You can
Sawa,
carry
sawa.
on.
Yeah, yeah.
Yes.
So I was saying, for me as a person, I think finances is definitely an area to look into. And this is not an area, maybe some administrations will be able to do this for teachers,
Mhm.
but mostly it could be good for you to take initiative and grow your financial muscles, because that will reduce the stress at the workplace. Because maybe for you, the money TSC, and let's talk about TSC gives, is
Yes.
absolutely enough. I don't know if it's enough, then maybe this is not for you. But if you're looking for an extra coin out there, it would be important to grow that financial muscles. It helps you become better. Like when you're coming to the workplace, you're coming as a giver, not as someone to take out. And I've found a lot of teachers are so stressed because the paycheck
Yeah, it's not at
the
that
pay,
point. At that
yes,
point, you may allow me, sorry for cutting you short, is
it's
that,
okay,
and
no
this is a
problem.
topic that we are going to have or at a later time, that
Yeah,
majority of the teachers, teaching is a calling, and that's what I
it
always say.
is.
When I'm speaking to teachers out there, I tell them that teaching should be a calling. It's a vocation. It
Mm-hmm.
is just like something like priesthood or being a Catholic nun or being a pastor. It's a calling. It
And we
is
don't like
not.
hearing that, by the way, Ben.
That is the reality. It's not a
It's
source
yeah.
of getting money. Allow me to
Mm-hmm.
say this. My good teachers, my good teacher, if you are listening to me, this wonderful, this time, if you are in teaching with the view of making millions, I think you're in the wrong profession. If you are in teaching with the views of I'm going to get so much for me to build a mansion out of this little pay that you get as a teacher from maybe TSC or even
Mm-hmm.
those who are in other ventures, other ventures, I mean private
Yeah, yeah,
school.
yeah.
If you are looking
Yes.
to make millions from the teaching profession, I think you're
Mm.
in the wrong profession. I think you're in the wrong thing. You're in the wrong game because
Yeah.
as far as I know, teaching
Mm-hmm.
and the paycheck check that you receive there, it is just for your sustainability. It is
It's
not
true.
there to help you, get that money. And that's why happiness I've just said, and I
Mm.
concur with you that we should think of how, number one, to put our finances into context,
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
not only into context, think of how to manage your finances as a
Exactly.
teacher.
Yes.
I was reading an article sometimes back in the papers. I
Mm-hmm.
think it was this year or last year. Sometimes it was there in
Mm.
papers. The number of teachers who are crying for their pension to be released. They are retired, yes, and up to now they've not yet received their pension.
Can you
And
imagine?
when I was reading that, I felt so bad that there was a teacher who taught for over 40 years in classroom. And
Mm-hmm.
after those 40 years, this teacher is still fighting to get that pension. And that is
Wow.
what this teacher, one of the teacher was saying that that's what he was looking up to start his business. Imagine, I think topic on finances, and I'm sure we are going to have that topic here on how to manage
Yeah.
our finances.
Mm-hmm.
It's a very important venture for self growth of teachers. Maybe,
It is.
what do you think of teachers and spirituality, happiness?
Um, teachers and spirituality. Personally, I believe it's so so important to have the spiritual anchor. By then, let me tell you, we are spiritual beings,
Mm,
whether you like it or not. We are spiritual beings in a body, in a flesh. There is
yeah,
more to me wearing the earrings and having my dreadlocks and what you're seeing. There is
yeah,
more. There is a spiritual aspect of me. And
mm,
therefore, that means if you're not nurturing that aspect, then you're walking in the flesh and you're bound to get weary, because it's so important that part of you going within and connecting with the source of creation. It's so so
yeah,
important, whether you're a Muslim, whether you're a Buddhist. It's really really important to nurture your spiritual growth, because that is the source of everything. For me, I believe wholeheartedly it is so so important for someone to go within. I talk about it as going within, like being able to do those things that keep your spiritual life spiritual aspect alive, because you're
Yeah,
more spiritual than you're even physical. You just don't know it.
which
You
is
just
very
don't.
correct.
So you need to.
Allow yeah, allow me to refer to the Christian, because I'm a Christian. We
Mhm.
normally say that the first teacher was Jesus Christ himself. When he was
Absolutely.
sent here to the world, he came to teach
Yeah.
us. And
Yeah.
we, the teachers of today, are
Mhm.
basically emulating Jesus Christ. I believe even in Muslim, Buddhist, and all other religions, they teach something to do with teaching as being the very first profession, being the very first career that
Mm.
ever be or ever became. Now, we have talked so much about
Can I
those
add
areas.
something on that?
Yes, you
It
can.
would
Yes, you
be a
can.
disservice if I never said this. You see, when
Yeah.
you talk about spirituality, also, it's about filling in your cup. And can you imagine, as a teacher, on a
Mm,
day-to-day basis, you're giving. So if you're not filling in the cup, you're running dry, basically. In fact, there is a quote by one of the authors I love so much. It's called Neil Donald Walsh, and he
mhm.
says, "If you don't go within, you go without." So
Sure,
you are
sure, sure, sure.
basically so exhausted, so drained, you're cussing
Mhm,
the job every day because
mhm.
you're giving. As a teacher, you can't avoid that. You're giving, giving, giving. So you must find a way to fill that cup, and that you find it in having those spiritual practices.
I'm not
Yes.
one of these people, but I'm sure you are going to receive a few.
Yeah.
You are going to receive a few stones
Yeah.
thrown to you, because
Uh-huh.
some of the teachers I know somewhere, they ever remember that today's on a Sunday, tomorrow is on a Monday, and I'm going
Yeah.
back to class. They are like, "Oof, I have no energy to go back to that class."
Let me
I
tell
don't.
you, Ben. Do you
Yeah,
know research shows that most people get heart attacks on Monday morning?
when they remember they are going back to work.
Yeah, like Sunday is a day to basically think, oh my goodness, tomorrow I'm back at it again. So filling the cup is one of the things that can really help you.
I think with that one, happiness, we are going to have another show that will be specifically on making teaching your purpose, making teaching your life purpose, because
Yeah.
I wouldn't want any of my good viewers, any one of our good
Mhm.
teachers to
Yeah.
experience heart attack on a Monday morning. I don't, well, I even cannot be able
We are
to
not
be
praying
able
for
to,
that for sure.
I'm not praying for that. Lakini, if you just
Yeah.
try to think about it, well,
Yeah.
I think it's not a good thing. Now, so much of what we've said about self-development, happiness,
Hmm.
but we
Yes.
cannot rule out the fact that it's not easy. Okay, you
Hmm.
and I know maybe we've been in this and we've tried to know we are already in there trying to develop our own self, self-growth
Hmm.
and all that. But allow me to ask you, how easy was it for you to discover areas of your self-development, areas on how you need to develop yourself? How easy was it? And if it was not easy, how can you help this teacher who is watching us today to be able
Hmm.
to, realize the areas on how to start developing their own self?
Yeah, 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 yeah. In fact, to start with, like I said, you don't know what you don't know. I was just okay. I was living my life, doing
Mhm,
everything on a day-to-day basis. I didn't know there was this aspect. So a part of it was just like, this is just life. And now
mhm.
starting on it, getting to people telling you that you need to read a book, you need to
Yeah,
be growing yourself, was like, what? No, I don't really need that. So it wasn't easy at all. And I wouldn't say even now I've
yeah.
achieved it. I'm still on the learning and growing curve. But I
Mm.
would say that I remember days I would start a book halfway and nimeiweka kando,
Just like
and yeah, inakaa months bila kusoma or
a
something
true
like that.
African, a true Kenyan. We Africans, we Kenyans, we rarely like reading. We have
By
to
the
confess that.
Did you ever hear PLO Lumumba said, if you want to hide a treasure for an African, you put it in the book?
Yeah,
I
yeah,
was so
yeah, yeah,
surprised.
yeah.
I was so
Uh,
surprised. We attended a talk when I was in university and we met PLO and he said like that. And by then, even then, I was like, what is he talking about? I don't understand. But it's so true.
there was a
It's so
story.
true.
There's a story given of a husband.
Yeah.
There was a story given of a husband who was, husband, how the breadwinner
Mhm.
and everything. And this time, this husband was going for a faraway country. And so what happened is that the husband knew that this family of mine, my good family, requires some money. So he picked a few thousand, a few coins, and not coins, they were notes. And there was one of the novels that he used to read, and he
Yeah.
placed this money in at the center of that novel and placed it
Mhm.
somewhere. And
Yeah.
then he left and he said, "Goodbye, wish you well, let's meet when I come back." And
Hmm.
upon coming back, he found, okay, before that he used to tell his family, his children and the wife, how important it is to keep reading, at least reading something. And so
Mm.
when this man was coming back, he realized, to cut the story short, he realized that his family was in a total mess because there was no money, because they were at a point of going without meals. And he
Mhm.
asked the wife, why didn't you call me, why didn't you? And the husband, or the wife, responded and said, the
Mhm.
reason is because you didn't leave us with anything. That's why we are skipping
Yeah.
meals. The husband
Mhm.
asked the wife, how many times have I told you it's good to keep perusing through the books and read something?
Mhm.
And the wife was challenged, and the husband told the wife, go back to the house, get a book, and try to read through, and definitely you are going to get some money. So
Yeah.
this wife went back to the house, picked the only book that was available in the house, and perused and found some money there. And she was like, "You mean this money
I
has
just
been found here?" And this
can
is
you
how, from there henceforth, the wife was always getting books to read through in the hopes of getting some money in between.
yeah.
So maybe we should
Wow.
start also doing this.
I
We should do
know.
this to some of us, for us to
Yes.
be able to now. But is reading the only way out happiness?
Reading is just one of them. But the
Mhm.
other one, like we said, is just getting out there, interacting with people from different careers. Ukisikia
Mm.
kuna seminar, just go. I mean, by the way, Ben, have you ever, maybe this is just me, but I find new information. Every time I attend something hits me, I get to learn. So just be
Yeah.
out there trying to get information, trying to learn. The point is just keep growing and keep learning. And maybe to even answer the how to is it's just a habit like any other. And we are, by the way, we are creatures of habit.
Mm.
Just look at the way every single day you wake up. So most of the times you do the same things every single morning because those
Yeah.
things have been with you. So personal development, whatever be it reading, listening to audios and meeting mentors and
Mm.
all that, is just a
Yeah.
habit. It will not be easy in the beginning, but as you continue creating it and repeating it over and over, it becomes part of you. Like you can't do without it. You can't do without it.
Yeah,
Yes.
I think it's good to summarize it this way, that personal development, self growth is as simple as creating a schemes of work.
Yeah.
We teachers, every day we are told, prepare schemes of work either termly or yearly. You don't go out there, asking how it's done. Because you've already learned how to do it. It's that simple. You just need a
Mhm.
piece of paper, a pen, and a
Mm.
ruler, and you get into it. So some of us teachers even prepare their schemes of work without the syllabus, without those books, because you have already internalized what it is that you are supposed to teach at what time. So that's what self growth should be for each one of us. And
Let
maybe
the
as
principals not hear that
by
that you are
the
preparing
way,
offhand.
we've just whispered.
You just
Okay.
twist.
Now, as we summarize this topic, because it's a
Yeah.
very wide topic that maybe we cannot be able to wide up now, but
Mm.
I'm sure what we are sharing, or the little that we've managed to share, many
Mhm.
teachers are able to learn. Maybe to summarize it,
Yeah.
happiness. It's good that you let our teachers know that when you talk of self growth and professional development, they are distinct. That's something that we have really put out here, and everyone is able to tell that. But as much as it is distinct, professional development, your employer pushes you to do it. But
Can you
now when it
imagine?
comes to self growth, it's yourself to push yourself to it. Isn't that correct,
Mhm.
happiness?
It's very correct. It's
Yeah, that
very.
it's you to choose, to be deliberate, that I want to grow myself as a teacher, not
Mhm.
only now as a teacher, as an individual, maybe
Mm.
for one, two, three things. All right. And
Mm.
I think once you take it that way, my good teacher out there, you are going to benefit. Maybe parting short on the same topic, Madam Happiness, as we call it off.
Parting shots is I think you can never go wrong with investing in yourself. It's good for you and it's good for everyone around you. So when you invest in yourself, and that is personal development, you become a better teacher, you become a more resourceful teacher, you are able to give better service. So even TSC will immediately start raising our salaries because they realize how the teachers have become their value addition people. So parting shot, you can never go wrong with personal development. Yes.
Wow, wow. It was quite an informative discussion with you, Madam Happiness. Thank you so much for coming on board to share your thoughts with us. I have also learned, I always keep telling you that I always learn something from you.
Thank
And I
you.
think one day when I grow up, if I
Mhm.
ever grow up, if I ever grow up, I would like to be like you.
Thank you, thank you. Also
That
tell people
that is job.
I'm a fitness enthusiast.
By the way, we cannot fail to mention that. Tell them about your YouTube channel and how they can be able to follow you.
Yeah, fitness is part of personal development, by the way. If you
Sure.
live in a body that is sick, man, you will not be able to show up to work. You will not be
Hmm.
able to enjoy those good books. You will not be able
Yeah,
to,
yeah.
so fitness for me is at the heart. So I
Hmm.
do very easy workouts on YouTube. My channel is Happiness and Health. So you can always check that out and see if that is something you'd want. So thank you so much, Ben. It's really a pleasure and an honor to be here. Asante.
Definitely, this is not the last time that we are having you on board. I'm sure even the next one we shall still have you on board discussing on a different topic altogether. So, my good teacher, now the ball is on your court. Self growth, personal development is what you should go for. You have gotten ideas on how to start it and how to go for it. All you need to do is to be deliberate and get out there and be sure that you are going to develop yourself. This is Mwalimu Affairs webinars, and this we do this every Tuesday, every Saturday from 4 to 5 p.m. And here we always say that we are uplifting a teacher's life. In case you miss this live, you can always follow me on my social media platform at Rostob, that is on Facebook and also on YouTube. And you can also be able to leave your comment. If possible, please subscribe. Not even if it's possible, I'm sure it's possible. Please subscribe and share your thoughts with us. You can also go to Happiness and Health. That's, I have said it right. Also subscribe and ensure that your health is one of your number one self growth. So until our next meeting, have yourself a good time. Thank you so much from your host Arostoben. Let's meet in the next one. Thank you.